Hi beautiful people, this is Angelina and welcome to Outside the Box Somewhere. This is a really long video, I'm so sorry. There's so much to talk about because I've done so much research over the years and I'm just ready to just put it all together, so this is what I'm doing. I've created a health and wellness plan that I'm really excited about and I want to share it with you. I plan on sharing it because I think that it would be good for me, because if I know that I have to report on it or that I get to report on it, then I'm more likely to stick to it, and I really want to stick to this plan this time. It's really important to me. So what better way to do that is to do a vlog type of thing on YouTube. I'm going to try to post as every day as possible. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And my printer's being really weird. I do have it typed up, my health and wellness plan, and so I'm going to share it with you and the whys and stuff like that too. This video is the long spiel. If you want the short spiel, just click on the corner there and it'll take you to the short spiel. If the short spiel catches your interest, come back and listen a little bit more into detail as to why and all that. My health and wellness plan might be a little bit different, so I would say it's definitely outside the box somewhere because it's all encompassing. It's not just my physical health, so it's definitely subject to change. If I find something isn't working for me, if I come across something that's better, maybe you have suggestions that you want to share that you think might be good, just feel free to post. Feel free to comment. Okay, so here's the long spiel. There are 4 areas to my health and wellness plan. The first one is spiritual. The second one is emotional. The third one is physical, focusing on food. The fourth one is physical, but that's focusing on fitness. And so those are the main categories. I'm doing it with the idea that our spiritual, emotional, physical, it's all connected into one being, one soul. They affect each other in really incredible ways. And so I want to make sure that when I focus on my health plan, that I'm not focusing just on my diet, or I'm not focusing just on exercise and fitness, that I'm really taking into consideration that if I really want to be successful, I really need to look at myself as a whole. So now I'm going to address the first category, the spiritual. Okay, so here's the spiritual part of my health and wellness plan. In our family, we have a family motto. It's called Your Best Self Matters. The reason why we have that is because I'm trying to teach my kids that the way that they can be their best selves is by including God into their lives, and that if they let God take part in their lives, that they will be their best selves. They'll be able to be more than they could be on their own. For me, I feel like that's a great motto for my health and wellness plan. If I want to be my best self, then I'm going to want to eat the best foods. I'm going to want to read the best things. I want to do the best things, invite the best things into my life. What can be better than God? I have found from personal experience that the more that I invite God into my life, the more miracles happen and the more incredible my life becomes. And so I just want to do it more. I want to focus on figuring out more and more ways to incorporate God into my life. And I think this health and wellness plan, incorporating God into taking care of who I am, is a great idea. And that's what I'm doing. To be able to invite God into my life and incorporate God into my health and wellness plan. These are the main things that I'm going to be focusing on and doing more often. Prayer, scripture study, gratitude, selfless service, live according to my conscience, make covenants with God and then renew them regularly, believe the truth, and fasting. So those are the main bullets. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. Prayer. There was an insight that I recently had on prayer. I've heard people say often about my life that God already knows what we need and what we want before we even ask for it. And so it's easy to be like, well, if he already knows what I want and what I need, what's the point of asking? What's the point of praying in the first place if he already knows what I'm going to want or what I'm going to ask for? I realized that God promised us our agency. When he sent us to earth, he promised that we would have our agency to choose for ourselves whether or not we want to follow him, to have him in our lives. He has given us a way to let him know. He's saying, hey, I'm going to send you to earth and I'm going to let you choose for yourself. This is a gift I have for you to give you your agency, and you can choose for yourself whether or not you want to follow me. And if you do, here's prayer. Here's another gift I have for you. You let me know I have all these gifts, all these talents, all this love that I want to pour upon your heads, and I will sit ready and waiting until you reach out to me and let me know, because I'm not going to force myself on you. So prayer is our way to say, I want you in my life, and and this is how I want you to be in my life. When I realized that, a light came on. All of a sudden, I just wanted to pray about everything. Now I want to make it more of a habit to pray more often and to really let him know how much I want him and need him in my life, and that I'm using my agency to let him know. There's a movie that I really love called War Room. It's wonderful. It goes right along the things that I've been learning about God and how prayer works for us. I recommend that movie to anybody and everyone who really wants God to change their lives and give God control over their lives, because man, he can do some incredible things. And that movie is just an example really of how God has worked in my life. And number 2 in spiritual is scripture study. If you want to talk to God, then pray. If you want God to talk to you, read your scriptures. It's really interesting how when we read our scriptures with an open heart and a willing mind, the Holy Ghost enlightens us, and the scriptures become a voice for God to us personally. And I've felt that and recognized that often, and I feel like I don't read my scriptures enough, so that I could get more insight and inspiration from God. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read my scriptures more. I feel like reading my scriptures is an expression of faith to invite the Holy Ghost into my life more and more, to be guided by God, and I really want that. The next one is gratitude. Gratitude is amazing. I'm just really starting to grasp the power of gratitude and how it can really affect how we think about our lives, how we think about ourselves, how our perspectives are, because I really started to realize that the sadness in our lives is directly related to our perspective on things and how we view things, what level of expectation we have on things, and it's all mental. Not all of it, but most of mine, I can't say our, but most of my psychological issues is a mental thing. Gratitude is like one of those things that I feel would be really important to focus on, because I am so grateful to be able to be alive. I'm so grateful for the gift God has given me, to have a body, to be here, I have the things that I need to talk to you. I'm so grateful for so many things, and I think that that will help me have the perspective that I need to have. Gratitude is like a really big deal to me, because I feel like I'm weak in having gratitude, and so I want that to be a strength. I have a body, I can walk, I can run-ish, I can sort of run, but I can see and I can hear and I can talk. There's just so many things that I have right now because I have a body. I'm so grateful for those things that I get to experience. I don't think I'm grateful enough for them. I say that because if I was more grateful about my body and for what I have, I feel like I would take better care of my body. So I want to focus on being more grateful for what I have, to take better care of what I have. Another thing is selfless service. I love to do service. I love to help people. It just really lifts me and strengthens me. I think that when we show God our willingness to serve, He puts opportunities in our path when we want it, when we ask for it. Live according to your conscience. This is something that I learned firsthand, that the more I choose to live according to my conscience, when I look at a decision, I say, is this right or is this wrong? The more I go by what I really feel is right versus, well, it'll be okay, the more at peace I am, the more happy I am. I feel like I want to apply that more also to not just choices as far as right and wrong, but also by what I eat. And I feel like if I live more and more according to my conscience when it comes to food, I think that I'll be happier. Making and renewing covenants with God. I made some promises to God when I chose to be baptized, and every week I have the opportunity to renew those promises. Continuing to do those things to be closer to Him is what will really make a difference in my health and wellness plan overall. Okay, so the next thing is believe the truth. I have this amazing experience that I had when I was in college. I had two friends. I thought we were really good friends. The two of them, though, decided to cut themselves off from their friends and family and just kind of go off on their own, and I was really hurt by that. I always try to be a good person. I always try to be a nice person. I'm not always successful. You can ask my kids. But I do try. I'm not generally a vindictive person, so it just hurt my heart. But I was really angry. I was like unnecessarily angry, and so I went to the scriptures for comfort. And I was like, well, yeah, that's good. That's good. She went to the scriptures for comfort, but I did it not in the best way. I went to the scriptures and I looked up under the topical guide in the back, liars, and I tried to look up all the scriptures that talked about liars. And you know, it started to make me feel better because it said liars will go to hell, beware the liar, woe unto the liar, all that. Started to feel better, which is terrible, to be honest. I mean, that was terrible. But because I was willing to turn to the scriptures, you know, through the scriptures, God talks to you through the Holy Spirit. And I started to read scriptures that said anyone who believes in a lie is a liar. And I started thinking about, well, do I believe lies? And I started to think about how often I've told myself that I was ugly or stupid or I'm never going to amount to anything. Things that tear yourself down. I thought to myself, Angelina, if Jesus was standing right in front of you, would he say all those things that you've been saying to you? And I knew immediately the answer was no. He would not say those things to me. He would tell me that I'm beautiful, that I have gifts and talents that are special, that I'm worthwhile, that I'm worth it, because he proved it to me already that I'm worth it. Sorry. And then the question came in my mind, when are you going to start believing the truth? When are you going to start believing what I've been trying to tell you? I was holding a figurative stone, getting ready to cast it at my friends when I realized that I had been lying to myself way more than they could ever dream of lying to me. And I dropped that figurative stone and I resolved anew to believe in myself better, to believe the truth more. And the more I started to do that, the more close I started to feel to God. I was so grateful to those friends. I cherish them even now for that experience. Like, I love them even more now than I did before. Because they taught me. They taught me to love me. Unintentionally, they did. God really taught me to love me, but that experience, because of them, that experience was a blessing to me. So, fasting. Okay, so fasting is a really interesting thing. Fasting is, Jesus fasted for like 40 days or something like that, and I don't recommend that. Like, fasting is a part of his spiritual life. For me, like once a month I would fast for 24 hours. Now though, I came across this thing called intermittent fasting, where you basically end up fasting every day. In a 24-hour space, you only eat in an 8-hour block, and then you fast for the rest of that time. But you still drink water, but you just fast from food. And I've tried that, and it's like there are a lot of benefits to that, so I'll probably make that another video. While I'm fasting, whenever I feel hunger pains and I feel hungry, what I do is I think about something that I've been praying about, of anything I'm concerned about or that I really want or need, you know, about someone else or for my family or for our nation or anything like that, you know. When I'm fasting, anytime I feel hungry, I pray about that thing that I've been focusing on lately. I use the hunger pains as a reminder for me to pray again for that thing until I'm done fasting. Fasting can be a reminder to focus more on God. Now I'm going to touch a little bit on being outside the box. And it's actually inspired by a book I read called The Anatomy of Peace. I'm going to go into more detail on that book and other videos, but what I want to share with you right now is I had heard some people think that you're putting yourself in a box, that you're limiting yourself by believing in a God. And I really thought about that, and I do not believe that believing in God and attaching yourself to a certain religion is putting yourself in a box. I'm going to use an example. There was a big storm several years ago in our area, and we had a huge amount of power outages, and so there were some traffic lights that were out. People had to guess when would be a good time to cross. It took a lot longer to get through intersections because the lights weren't working than it would if they were working. And I really thought about that, and I was like, wow, you know, rules and certain restrictions and laws, they're there for a good purpose. They're there to protect us, they're there to guide us and help us get to our next destination faster. Even though it doesn't seem like it's faster, it really does get us there faster. You know, I thought about, you know, if there weren't ever traffic lights, there would be more accidents. It would take us longer to get somewhere. There would just be a lot more issues, a lot more road rage. I guarantee that. So because there are laws, because there are traffic lights, we are freed. We have more freedom than we would otherwise. So that's why I think being attached to God and committing yourself to God is like a traffic light. It frees you. So spiritually, I want to live outside the box somewhere. Right? Somewhere. I want to live outside the box. I want to be free. And I know that I can be more free if I let God be more a part of my life. John was not lying when he said the truth shall set you free. So I have a journal, my health and wellness journal that I'm going to use, and I'm going to have like different sections in my journal, and I'm going to journal about how I felt I did each day with my spiritual endeavors. Okay, so emotional health and wellness. From my personal experience, my emotions very much affect what I eat. In fact, I have participated in a 12-step program. It's been such a big deal, in fact, that one of the reasons why I participated in a 12-step program is because of my emotional eating issues. I have a tendency to use food as a way to numb emotional pain or stress or any of that, that kind of stuff. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to rely on God, not food, for my emotional, psychological, spiritual well-being. I am going to keep track of my emotions, so when I feel triggered, I feel like eating something unhealthy, I don't go to food, but I go to God and pray. Write down immediately that I am craving something, what I'm craving, and how I'm feeling at the moment. That way I can work through that emotion. I can go to God with that emotion and not go to food. That's bad. I think it's okay to eat a whole bunch of carrots if I'm sad. I don't know very many people that would do that, but if it's good for you, I'm sure it's probably okay, right? So that's my goal, to live outside the box on an emotional level as well. I want to look for things that are inspirational, that inspire gratitude, are uplifting for others and myself. I also want to do daily self-affirmations. I have tried that. It is really effective, saying daily affirmations as a part of a meditation. I just really like it. Taking those positive things that Jesus would tell you, right? And putting them in your brain every day and rewrite, uncondition the bad and recondition with good stuff. Self-affirmation. I love it. Do visualizations. Like, I've heard some really great things about taking time to really do visualization of the things that you want and the things that you need and goals, life's aspirations and stuff like that. It's really cool. It also puts you in a place where you can hear God more often. I like that. Oh yeah, and I'm going to journal that. I'm going to journal it every day. Health and wellness journal. Okay, I guess the physical part of my health and wellness plan, focusing on food. So here are the main bullets on that. The first one is I'm going to list all reasons why I want to be healthy. All the reasons that I should be healthy. Some of the ones that I thought of was to avoid disease, to be healthy for my family, to live longer, to have a better quality of life and enjoy my posterity. I want to be able to enjoy my grandchildren and to be there for my children when they're trying to raise their kids. I think that would be a really great thing. But I just got to take better care of myself in order to do that. And I'm sure there's more things that I'm going to add to the list as I come across, but for now, I think that's a good list. So number 2, I'm going to eat a whole foods plant-based diet. This is interesting. It's important to eat a healthy diet, and I'm not saying that everybody has to do this. I'm just saying I'm going to give this a try for myself. So what happened was, there was a family, 5 kids, and diagnosed with breast cancer. And so I prayed, please guide me to a way I can prevent it. If there's a way that I can prevent the possibility of me getting cancer, please guide me to that. So I really feel that I was guided. It was not very long after that I came across a book called The China Study. And basically, the gist of it is that a whole food, plant-based diet is the best diet you can have for your health. I've been trying to transition for some time now, and I'm ready to just jump in with both feet. So I have an idea of what it's like. I just want to really stick to it this time. If you really want to get a good idea of what the China Study talks about, go to Netflix and look up Forks Over Knives and watch that documentary. That's exactly what it's about. Number 3, I'm going to keep a menu and stick to it. I'm going to learn to enjoy the natural flavors of food. Make healthy snacks ahead of time that I can just grab, that are good to eat when I have little time and I need to grab something, so I don't feel tempted to buy something while I'm out. Number 6, make a list of meals that work for me and the family. So I do have a few things on a list, but as I go, I'm going to add more things to the list, that things that work, that my family will really actually like. So just that I have something to use, to turn to every time I go to make a menu, so it's not so stressful to make a menu every time. Number 7, make a reservation list of food allowed in bodies. I like to imagine things, and so it was just amusing to me to think about, looking at a donut and saying, oh, donut, you want me to eat you? Well, let me look at the reservation and see if you're on it. Oh, no, you're not on the reservation. I'm so sorry. I will not be eating you today. You're not on the reservation. That kind of a thing. I'm making a list of all the things that's allowed to be on the reservation to carry with me, so that before I eat, I can look at my food and say, okay, is this on the reservation or not? like if I go out to eat, okay, that would be on the reservation on this menu. That kind of a thing. Yeah, I just thought that would be fun. Intermittent fasting. I mentioned that before, where I eat in an 8-hour window, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then all that other time I don't eat. And I drink throughout the whole day. And that has been really effective. It helps me lose weight easier. It helps to regulate my hormones. I don't get as moody. I can always tell when I'm not intermittently fasting because then I just get so emotional at certain times. That's so unnecessary to get so emotional, but I do. Number 9 is have an eating schedule. I intermittently fast till 11, then I will make sure I'm hydrated and drinking lots of water while I'm fasting. And then for my first meal, for breakfast, I'll eat 1 pound of vegetables. And this is a strategy that I learned from a lady on YouTube. I'll post her name. I forget her name right now, but she's great. She's got a book. She's really energetic and excited. Whole Foods plant-based chef. So eat 1 pound of vegetables for breakfast. The second meal is really not that long after that to eat. Second breakfast is what she called it. I thought that was hilarious because it's like The Hobbit, and I love The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and everything like that. So I thought that was great that I have breakfast and then I have second breakfast. And my second breakfast, I love it to be oatmeal, and I use a food bar to put really great things in my oatmeal, and I'll show you my food bars. They're amazing, but that's for another video. For my third meal, I eat like salad and a potato or beans and rice or whatever's left over from dinner the night before. The fourth meal would be the dinner that I make for my family that day, and then a healthy protein shake if I'm still hungry by the time it's close to 7. You know, it just depends on what I'm doing in the day, but I thought that would be a really good plan. Number 10, keep up a salad bar, and I'm going to show you my salad bar sometime. It's really fun. Eat with purpose. I have this burger. What is the purpose of eating this burger? Is it to feed my body in a way that it will be healthy and strong and happy? You know, chances are it's not completely the truth, so I need to eat with purpose. What is the purpose of me eating this thing? Keep well hydrated, because they say that you take your weight and you divide it by 2, and that's how many ounces of water you should be drinking every day. So if I drink 3 of those bottles that I have, there's 30 ounces in each bottle, then I know that I've drank more than enough water. And then once again, journal my progress, journal my eating progress. Journal. I also want to drink tea, the herbal tea that is anti-inflammatory. Turmeric, I hear, is really good. I've had turmeric tea before, I really like it. And then avoid foods that cause inflammation. A whole food plant-based diet will help me eliminate most of those foods that cause inflammation, but I'm trying to avoid inflammation right now. So wheat causes inflammation, sugar, meat, dairy, oil, and salt. What I found out is the foods that cause inflammation are also foods that have a tendency to cause your body to be more acidic on the inside. And if your body is an acidic environment, then it makes you more likely to have issues with diseases like cancer and things like that. If you want to decrease the chances of having diseases and problems, then you eat more and more of the foods that make the inside of your body more of an alkaline environment. Cancer does not thrive in an alkaline environment. Cancer thrives in an acidic environment. So if you want to really make cancer unhappy or really decrease the chances of you growing any cancer cells, do whatever you can to make the environment in your body an alkaline environment. I want to be more aware of how I am feeling when I start craving unhealthy things and work through that process. And so that's kind of in more than one section apparently, because I really want to just knock out that addiction thing. The very last section of my health and wellness plan, is physical health and wellness through fitness. Let me go over that with you. So I made a list of all my ailments and then researched the exercises and strategies that would correct and fix them. So basically I made a list of all the things that I have problems with and then looked up exercises that would help fix those problems or correct them. Then looked for a workout regimen that already had those kinds of exercises in them. Would have as many as possible in them, and then kind of adjust the workout a little bit according to my needs, to add a little bit here or there, or to subtract a little bit here or there, depending on what I should be avoiding because of my ailment or what I need to be doing more of because of my ailment. Pretty sure I have that list right here. bursitis, diastasis recti, weakness everywhere because I have a bunch of kids and now my body just needs to recover from that. Headaches, overweight, tired, low energy, sore feet in the morning when walking, muck brain, emotional instability, and inflammation. Those are my main things that I'm concerned about. These are the things that I decided that I'm going to do to help fix those things physically. Bursitis. Bursitis is the inflammation of the bursa, and the bursa is like the liquid cush pockets that is in between your joints and stuff in your hips area. When they're inflamed, they hurt and ache, and it's not fun, but it's fixable. All you have to do is do muscle strengthening things in your hip area, which is like bridges and stuff like that, and do stretches, which I used to always do anyways because at one point I was a dancer wannabe, and so I used to be pretty flexible, and it's really crazy how not flexible I am. I'm so sad about that. So I want to get back into that for my health, and I think that would be a good reason. So there are specific exercises that I know I can do because I got those exercises from a physical therapist because I went to a doctor to find out what my problem was, and he told me it was bursitis, and so a physical therapist told me the exercises that I needed. But you can also find out on YouTube and online, they'll all say basically the same kind of stuff. Diastasis recti is the separation of the ab muscles when you have a baby and then they just don't go back. There's certain exercises like crunches that makes it worse, and so you'll never really, if you have diastasis recti, you'll never really have a flat stomach if you're doing crunches all the time. You actually need to avoid planks and crunches in order to get those muscles back together, to strengthen them and stuff. And so there are specific exercises to avoid if you have diastasis recti and specific exercises to do. And incidentally, the specific exercises to do are the same exercises that would help my bursitis. So what? Wow, that's amazing. Knee strengthening things. I have weak knees that cause my kneecaps to be in the wrong place. So if I strengthen my knees, then the muscles will just pull those kneecaps where they're supposed to be. No more achy knees, hopefully. And stretches were actually supposed to help with that as well. And then weakness, general workout. I wanted to do a basic workout, so I found one that I like. P90X, as much as I would love to do, is just not what my body is ready for yet. So I decided to use Kinobody. It's really cool. The guy is so cool. I hope maybe I meet him someday. That would be awesome. But I don't know. I have a soft spot for people who have a really difficult thing that happens to them and they use it to try to bless and help others. And so that's really what this dude is doing. Kinobody. You can look it up, but he's the one that introduced me to intermittent fasting. And I like the workouts. They're simple and effective. And it's one of those work smarter, not harder scenarios. There are a few things that I have to adjust because of my diastasis recti, but most of it is right on, spot on what I need to have overall strength. All my other ailments, incidentally, I believe can be fixed through a healthy diet. Once again, the other ailments that I don't want to have that I've been dealing with are headaches, overweight, tired, or low energy, sore feet in the morning when walking, muck brain, emotional instability, and inflammation. And emotional instability due to hormones, okay? I'm not a crazy person every day, I'm not cray-cray every day, okay? The next thing is that I'm going to create a strategy to carry out the workout plan. I got some exercises to help me with my diastasis recti. I bought an ebook through these women. One was a doctor and the other one is a fitness person. It's called Abs, Core, and Pelvic Floor. So they say to do their exercises for a month and not do any other exercises. For about a month to 6 weeks, I'm going to do the abs, core, and pelvic floor exercises to help my diastasis recti. And then I'm going to move on to Tai Chi and Kinobody and do that for a good 3 months or so, and then move on to something like P90X3. The reason why I say P90X3 is because I absolutely love the variety that P90X offers. I do want to build up to that. And then once again, I'm going to journal. Okay, so Qi Gong, 10-minute warm-up first thing in the morning, and then I do my stretches and then my workout in the morning if I can, but try to fit it throughout the day if I can't do that. I won't necessarily be working out every day. Most days, hopefully, that's the goal. The last things that I also want to do is practice good posture. I hear that's really good and important, and deep breathing. I hear that's also really good. The last thing is trying to get as much sleep as possible. For me, it's very difficult to get all the sleep that I need. My goal is as close to 7 hours a day as possible. So I also am going to keep educating myself on holistic solutions to health and wellness, because holistic solutions really do do what I'm trying to do now is reach the spiritual and emotional and physical all together and not neglect any of those. And so anyway, so that is my health and wellness plan. I know it seems like a lot. They're all really good ideas. And I know that, you know, I'm one of those people that I like to try it all at once and just kind of weed out things as I go along and really stick to the things that help. And did create a PDF of all the basic things that I decided I wanted to do for this health and wellness plan. So if you do want to use it as a guide or to give you ideas, you can go to my website, Outside the Box Somewhere. You'll see it under Health tab. I have not been putting very many things on there, but I'm starting to, so it'll be very easy to find. It's going to be a great journey, and I'm so excited to do this in this way. I think it's going to be fun for me, and it's going to like give me a sense of responsibility because I'm going to have to return the report. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You know, if you're friends and family, I would just love for you to get to know me more. There's so many of my friends and family out there that I just never see anymore, and I really, you know, I've changed so much, and I feel like I'm such a better person now, and I just want everyone that I've known before to really get to know the me now, because the me now is really cool. Thank you for going through this video with me, and I'll see you outside the box somewhere.